All right, welcome back to the Nexus Podcast. Christiaan Beek of Rapid7 is my guest. He is the Director of Threat Analytics at Rapid7, and we're going to talk about ransomware, all things ransomware, the state of these attacks in 2025, the economics behind them, and how security teams are doing against this threat. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. So we're at RSA, and the madness here. The show's right behind us as we speak. How's it been going so far?
Well, actually, I haven't been next to the expo yet, so I have a lot of meetings around it. But no, it's great to meet up with people we've known for a long time in the industry. So it's always good to be here. Talk to exchange.
So I know you're doing a talk here on ransomware. Just kind of these things that I brought up in the introduction. I mean, we're 10 years into this threat. As far as like really prominent attack vectors in some of these ransomware service groups. In your estimation, how does ransomware stack up against other efforts that are happening?
I think the biggest change came, like you mentioned, confidence like 10 years plus, something around that. But I think before that, yes, the concept of ransomware was known for sure. But I think the moment that we got the crypto locker, these guys adding Bitcoin as a transaction to it, where you can actually anonymously pay and actually try to hide your transactions, and then later with all the tumbling mixers where you try to hide your transactions schemes, I think that would make it really interesting for criminals to go into this model, because suddenly like, hey, I can make money and I'm hiding where my funds are. So I think that was the big spike that actually sparked this model.
Sure. I remember some of the early ones. It's just kind of like mischief. And the ransomware is small.
It was individually focused. Sure. You got this email or something like that, and it's more personal. And I think later it really actually transformed to like, let's attack big fish, companies, and then of course the ransomware went up crazy.
Right. So I guess the key question why does it still work? 2025. Get so much advanced technology out there.
Yeah. Actually, that was my question as well. Like, when I started to propose this talk for RSA, like, why do we still have these ransomware going around? Like, why a little bit of organization? We're very good at it, I would say. And still, there are steps ahead of us. I think the money-making business is so lucrative for model still paying off, and with all respect, we all know where most of them are sitting, so it's hard to fix them as well. So is that a solution? No, I think there are some solutions, but we can get to that sort of down line in the talk. But nobody was the profitability, so we measure I saw the 70 plus groups we know are active. So it's just a moment of when you are going to be hit and not hit. Yeah,
somebody's a lot.
Yeah, so you're the rest of the day and see this here.
Kind of surprised me it took me that long to never had there's like a lot of times where I can't spot just right
on the other hand, you see them actually changing every time, right? You start with videos, they started with companies, and what they did first is everybody knew when they were hit by ransomware because you had it on your screen where it said like, hey, you're being ransom. Nowadays, it's different. Like they go in and actually they search for one data and make a copy of that data. It's a nice spreadsheet. And sometimes they don't even use ransomware anymore, right? Because they already have their data.
I'm okay just hanging out on
sites. So they keep innovating from that perspective.
But
perspective, that's what I'm saying. They're small innovations. So I mean, it's like bigger shifts like now.
Yeah.
So almost getting to the company is very important.
For so interesting.
It is powerful, but crypto is a key element of this business model. If crypto was easily, I think I'm a member of probably a responsibility with Europol. And one of the strategies is go after shady crypto providers. Make it difficult for them to actually trade their crypto or actually make it to the normal economy. So that's definitely one of the directions.
That's kind of a subtle criticism of crypto too, is that it's enabling fraud. It's a thing that's I'm surprised that they hasn't more action. At least publicly.
There's a lot of action being taken, which of course we can't discuss always, right? We also have to keep that under the radar. Yeah, crypto is definitely on the radar. But on the other hand, like I was watching this morning, like an underground forum, and they had like some special services with AI, ML, and of course, when you have to register nowadays for a crypto exchange, you have to actually give your license, driver license, or you have to give your passport. Well, you're only getting right. What I'm going to is this service actually is like, okay, give me your passport, the driver license, upload my picture. It's cost me like $40 or $60. I have a valid license, and actually when you upload it to a certain crypto service, they show you already like it's valid, it's been accepted, so you can create false identities for your crypto.
It's really remarkable ecosystem.
Yeah. It's almost like run like a professional business. Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's structure.
Yeah, it's run like what they did in the old days, what they called the mafia structure, where they had like a capo, a head guy, and a sergeant in arms. They have those kind of models still in place, actually. And, but now you see a lot of outsourcing. It's like really like a company, help desk, service desk.
Again, a lot of it, maybe not unmonitored, happening on the dark web, just kind of a lot of barriers for the normal people to get through.
Yeah, I think like there's small stuff you can find, but I think the real forums you have to buy yourself into, or you have to have a certain reputation in the scene to get to the real juicy stuff.
So, let's talk about kind of the evolution that you see. And I know you have a lot of it as well. About going from the early crypto attacks, big game hunting, as you mentioned, all the way to kind of what's happening today. Just that turning point of crypto activities. What kind of sparked it? You remember about those?
Well, I remember like I was I think a few months in the 19 labs in Africa, and my boss kept like, oh, we have a couple of those tickets for something like crypto, and can you have a look at it because you're the intelligence guy here. And this was the early days of threat intel, right? Like everybody was just focusing on malware and stuff.